Hi, happy Giving Tuesday. Today is a very special day, and we're very grateful that you're taking a few minutes out of your day to join myself, Dustin Zick, Jenni Scott, Manager, Integrated Mental and Behavior Health, and Carson Mall, a Children's Wisconsin patient. We're here today to talk about donating to the Change the Checkup Challenge at Children's Wisconsin. And I'm excited to share that our friends at Kohl's will be matching the first $5,000 raised during today's live stream, in addition to the other Giving Tuesday matching incentives I'll mention shortly. We're here today to talk about the reality that Wisconsin's kids are in crisis and they need your help. We know that there's no true health without mental health, and we know that roughly 1 in 5 kids today is living with a mental illness. Depression, anxiety, PTSD, and more. Nearly 250,000 kids in Wisconsin are living with very real mental and behavioral illnesses. Suicide is the second leading cause of death among kids in the nation, and Wisconsin kids are hospitalized with mental health conditions at 4 times the national rate. We also know that the COVID-19 pandemic has amplified existing mental and behavioral health issues and triggered new issues in children that didn't have them before. We also know that trauma, like the tragic incident that occurred in our own community of Waukesha recently, can have effects on children that may not present itself immediately. And so, in July of this year, the Change the Checkup Challenge was launched thanks to a generous gift from the Yabuki Family Foundation. Jeff Yabuki, the former CEO of Fiserv, has donated $20 million to Children's Wisconsin to accelerate and transform our response to the pediatric mental and behavioral health crisis facing our state. To inspire other donors to step forward, the Yabuki family has committed $5 million of their gift to match every donation, dollar for dollar. Most mental and behavioral illnesses start in childhood, but the treatment usually doesn't. With your support, we can change that conversation and change the checkup for kids and families by placing a therapist in every Children's Wisconsin primary and urgent care location to address every aspect of health with our pediatricians. But today isn't any normal day. It's Giving Tuesday. And because of a special gift from the Mars Family Foundation, in addition to the Yabuki Family Foundation's challenge, the first $50,000 donated today to the Change the Checkup Challenge won't just be doubled, it'll be tripled, powering your donation to do even more for Wisconsin kids. And because of the Yabuki Family Foundation's challenge, once we meet that $50,000 mark, additional donations will still be doubled even beyond today. You can find the URL to donate in the video description here, and it's in the comments. That URL is childrenswi.org/givelive. Jenni, I'm hoping you can tell our viewers a little more about the changes this donation from the Yabuki Family Foundation is bringing to our mental and behavior health program here at Children's Wisconsin.
Thanks, Dustin. I'm so happy to be here with you. As you said, I'm Jenni Scott. I'm a licensed clinical social worker, and I've been working with Children's Wisconsin for nearly 8 years. I started off as a psychotherapist, and then I moved into leadership. And now I'm currently the manager of our new integrated behavioral health program. I'm so excited to be a part of this program, you guys, and I'll tell you why. Integrated mental and behavioral health recognizes that we need to treat the whole child, and that includes their physical, mental, and behavioral health. So what we're doing is replacing licensed mental health professionals in all of our primary care and urgent care clinics. And they're basically going to work as extensions of your primary care provider to meet your child's needs related to mental and behavioral health. So my team will work with your primary care provider to help your child with all sorts of concerns, from headache management to family stress, things like toileting concerns, worries, sadness, trauma. We really can do it all. And the great thing is that if we're not enough, or if we're not exactly what your child needs, we're going to link you to the right level of support. So your donation will help us to reach our goals faster than we initially planned, thanks to the Yabuki Family Foundation's very generous gift. We'll be expanding our IBH services, IBH is Integrated Behavioral Health, to all of our clinics in 3 years instead of 5. So we're going to be really busy. By the end of 2023, we're going to have 36 behavioral health consultants hired. These are the mental health professionals that will be in all of our primary care and urgent care clinics. So we're very, very excited, and we're very thankful for the donation, but we still could use more.
Awesome. So I'd like to take a moment to reflect on the traumatic events that occurred in Waukesha the other week, and how, particularly in today's digital world, with photos and video and social media, that the trauma of such an event can manifest in different ways. How will what we're doing with our mental and behavior health program help kids that may be struggling with events or other incidents of trauma in the future?
Yeah, good question, Dustin. And, the event that occurred recently in Waukesha was just so tragic. And my heart goes out to all of those families who lost someone or who were affected. It's really important to know that everyone copes with trauma in unique ways. And not everyone who was present during the event necessarily does need professional help. But what to look for as I would say, as a month passes by, if your child is still struggling with problems like sleep or nightmares, difficulty concentrating, feeling unsafe in the world, or feelings of shame and guilt, your child could really benefit from working with one of our behavioral health consultants that will be at your doctor's office, or another mental health professional. If we have integrated behavioral health at your clinic, you would simply schedule an appointment with your doctor, and then your behavioral health consultant would be looped into your appointment. Our integrated behavioral health program and all donations prevent children from experiencing more significant mental health challenges because we screen all children, regardless of if symptoms are reported, at their primary care visits in order to catch problems early before they develop into bigger ones. So right now at children's primary care offices, we're screening kids starting at birth into young adulthood. We're screening for developmental concerns from birth. We're screening for autism. We just added a new screener that's actually going to be identifying if your child has any concerns with depression, anxiety or worries, attention, or behaviors. And this screening is going to be given to all children between the ages of 5 or 11. So you can watch out for that at your next well child check at your doctor's office. We also screen all children 12 and older for depression and suicide. The coolest part about all of this is that if your child has any concerns in these areas, they're able to meet with this behavioral health consultant right away during your doctor's appointment.
That's great. It's so much about where they're at. Now let's talk a little bit about the why again. We know that kids are in a crisis point. We know that nearly 250,000 kids in Wisconsin are living with a mental illness. But all too often, kids aren't able to be diagnosed or receive treatment during their childhood. That's where the checkup and the Change the Checkup challenge comes in. Your donation today will help us continue to hire and build the infrastructure to have a therapist in every Children's Wisconsin primary and urgent care location. Today, Giving Tuesday, thanks to the Yabuki family's ongoing match and a generous $50,000 match from the Mars Family Foundation, and that additional match during this live stream from our friends at Kohl's, your donation can make up to 3 or 4 times the difference in the lives of Wisconsin's kids by donating right now at childrenswi.org/give-live. So we know how to help Wisconsin's kids. Jenni, can you talk a little bit more about why we need to help Wisconsin's kids with mental and behavioral health issues?
Oh, it's so important right now, Dustin. Did you know that right now, on average, 11 years pass before a child can receive treatment for a mental and behavioral health issue? So our integrated mental and behavioral health programming is really seeking to change that. As I just discussed, our program is going to be ensuring that mental and behavioral health screenings occur regularly when they're at their primary care visit. We're also going to be meeting your child where they're at to provide the level of support they need when you need it. There's no issue too big or small for us. We're going to take care of you and your child, and we're going to connect you with the services that you need if we aren't enough. We're also going to be making access easier. So instead of having to receive a referral from your doctor, Wait, usually right now within our mental health crisis, there could be months of having to wait on a waiting list, and then going to a clinic you've never been before to meet someone you haven't met before. So we're making access a lot easier. It's so much more convenient. And we're also continuing to break the stigma that's attached to mental and behavioral health issues. There is no health without mental health. And we're going to hear more from Carson in a minute, just how important this is. Providing mental and behavioral health services at your primary care doctor's visits is now routine. It's a part of your visit, and we're really working and contributing to decreasing that stigma.
That's great. So Jenni just mentioned the stigma around mental and behavioral health issues. Carson, I'd love to take this opportunity for you to share your story briefly and how it's changed your perspective on mental and behavioral health.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys so much for having me here today. I am incredibly excited to be able to share my story and hopefully help out a little bit. So, as you guys say, my name is Carson Mall. I am currently 18 years old, and for most of my childhood, I grew up with undiagnosed mental health. Looking back at it now, it's pretty easy for my family and I to see that I was dealing with probably depression, anxiety, and this kind of pressure that I put on myself to be perfect, which is obviously unachievable. And all of these mental health issues led me to the point at 14 years old where I tried to take my own life. And like I said, I was dealing with all these sorts of mental health issues that we didn't even know were there. I wasn't aware of them. I wasn't educated about them. And obviously, I'm more in touch with my mental health now. And I was forced into a situation because of me trying to take my own life where I had to learn about my mental health and I had to get diagnosed. But I think if I were put in touch with a mental health professional, whether that was just at my school, at the doctor's office, going to see my doctor for a checkup every year, and they educated me about mental health or they screened me for possible mental health issues, I really don't think I would have ever gotten to the point where I thought I had to try and take my own life to make it better. So I really think it would have been very important for me to have those screenings there, to have those people there to help all the way up from when I was born, like you said, Jenni, till when I was 14 and I decided to take my own life. And I think that would be really important for possibly saving kids' lives who aren't as lucky as me. I mean, let's face it, most teenagers who try and take their own life, they don't survive. You know, I was very lucky that I ended up where I am today. But we can't bank on that. We have to rely on them getting diagnosed and them getting screened beforehand so they don't ever have to get to the point where I was at.
Yes. Thank you so much for sharing that, Carson. These screenings can, and they already are, making a difference for Wisconsin's kids. With our Giving Tuesday Super Match, your generous donation will provide up to 3 times the support in our Change the Checkup Challenge, thanks to the support of the Mars Family Foundation and the Yabuki Family Foundation. Make your donation today by visiting childrenswi.org/give-live. And if you donate now while this broadcast is happening live, our friends at Kohl's will also match your donation up to $5,000. Jenni, can you share a little more about the impact we're already seeing with kids just 6 months into this program?
Yes, I'd be happy to, Dustin. What we're hearing so far is just an extreme amount of positivity about our services. Parents and children are sharing that the experience in being able to see a mental health provider at their primary care clinic has been so convenient, and they're very appreciative. We've been helping with a range of concerns, from things like minor sleep problems to worries, to helping kids like Carson who are actively feeling suicidal and maybe they didn't tell anyone when they came to their visit. So it really is very important to consider donating because the money will go to good use. Some of the comments that I've been hearing are things like, we received the exact level of support we needed exactly when we needed it. And that convenience is just, really been stressed. In addition, the doctors are also very appreciative to have this almost extender of themselves, right? To be able to address some of these more complex issues or some of the more minor issues so that the doctor has time to do, what they want to focus on. So just in talking about where we're currently at. So our integrated behavioral health services are currently at our Bayshore, Midtown, Next Door, Greenfield, and Kenosha clinics. And next week, we're going to be really busy. So we are going to be at our Blue Mound, Delafield, Pewaukee, and River Glen clinics beginning next week. And just a reminder that you can expect to have a behavioral health consultant at your children's clinic by the end of 2023. And if you happen to visit the urgent care. So if you didn't hear your clinic in that list, don't sweat. We will be there soon. We are working fast. And as we move forward with our program, our goal is really to focus just as much on prevention efforts as we're focusing on treatment. So in the near future, you can expect to meet with your behavioral health consultant in your well child check visit. And your behavioral health consultant will provide you with additional tips and tricks to enhance overall wellness and promote resiliency to prevent more serious mental health problems down the road. So for example, we'll provide families with activities that they can do to promote growth towards reaching developmental milestones. And we'll teach kids, for example, how to take belly breaths to calm their bodies down and when they should use this skill, and not just wait until, they're already struggling with a mental health problem and being diagnosed. We're going to provide parents with, and we are providing them with, positive parenting strategies to help navigate typical developmental concerns. And our hope is to teach all of these skills in a really fun and engaging way right in your doctor's office through the use of play or even short video clips.
Wow, that's great. And I think this is a continued example of how our organization is always making strides and efforts to meet families where they're at and to provide them with the best and safest care wherever they're at. So again, this effort is happening today because of generous donors like you, our audience. And donating today at www.childrenswi.org/give-live means that your donation to the Change the Checkup Challenge can make up to 3 times the impact, thanks to matches from the Mars Family Foundation, the Ubuki Family Foundation, and Kohl's. Before we wrap up today, I'd like to give you each an opportunity to share in your own words why you think people should donate to the Change the Checkup Challenge. Jenni, let's start with you.
As I've discussed, our team is working hard and fast to get our behavioral health consultants hired and trained so they can be in all of our primary care clinics. You should donate so that you contribute to helping us to treat the whole child and promote wellness. And remember, there's no health without mental health. By routinely providing these screening and prevention services, we're going to decrease the suicide rates in Wisconsin and more serious mental health concerns in our community.
Carson, how about you? Why do you want people to donate to the Change the Checkup Challenge?
I think the importance is really twofold. I mean, you have kids like me who are speaking out more about their mental health and they're being more open about it. And when we have that movement, when we have these kids going to get help for their mental health, we need to have the boots on the ground ready for them. And the only way for that to happen is to have the proper funding. And I think the second one is I can put a face to the thousands of children that have been treated at Children's Hospital of Wisconsin. And it's no stretch of the imagination when I say that Children's Hospital saved my life after my suicide attempt, and they've continued to save my life through their physical and mental health support over the past 4 years. And I can kind of just embody every child who's been there and who has received that level of care and tell you really how important and how life-saving it is.
Great, thank you. Since today is Giving Tuesday, I can't say it enough, the Mars Family Foundation has pledged to match the first $50,000 for the Change the Checkup Challenge on top of what the Ubuki Family Foundation is already matching. That means a donation of just $33 can make $99 worth of impact donating at childrenswi.org/givelive. And as an added incentive, you've got just another minute or two left. Kohl's is also matching the first $5,000 raised during this live stream. So donate now. I want to thank you both, Jenni and Carson, for taking the time to talk about mental and behavior health and the value of donating on this Giving Tuesday to this Change the Checkup challenge. We know that there is no whole health without mental health, and that your donation can help make mental and behavior health care more accessible to kids in Wisconsin by helping us to place a dedicated mental and behavior health therapist at every one of our primary care and urgent care locations. Thank you to our friends at the Yabuki Family Foundation, the Mars Family Foundation, and Kohl's. And thank you to every one of you watching right now for supporting Wisconsin kids today and every day. You're truly making a difference. Please have a great day.